Restoration is brought to you by
Hisense, everyday prices for everyday people.
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
We got Yas protection.
Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix.
For naturally whiter teeth, Pepsodent Charcoal.
Hi, you're welcome to Restoration Wednesdays. We're brought to you by Malta Guinness, Hisense, everyday prizes for everyday people. Yas Washing Powder and Yas Sanitary Pad, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Hooch Con, and Choco Flakes, Tiwazi Apartment, and Teflon Suites located in Kumasi. A very special thank you going out to the Souza Catering Services for always ensuring my team and I are duly refreshed on this show. To my glam team, ABS Lux Line, Hair Duties, and GH Artistry. You guys are simply amazing. We'll be right back after this break.
Hisense, a one of them was Tasty Tom tomato mix. Ufa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yan kwani stew dodwa ope.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. Steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup, and it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix into me handwriting and sada. Into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month? Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yas comfort, I got Yas confidence, I got Yas.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got Yas confidence, I got
Yes.
we got Yas protection, I got
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
we got Yas protection.
Every child is so unique.
You like no other.
Outstanding in every way.
It's me like no other.
So anytime you walk and play,
You like no other.
you are special like Indomie.
It's me like no other.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other?
You like no other. I can play the drums. I'm talented. It's me like no other.
I can sing, I can dance.
You like no other.
As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook. I can paint. You like no other. Indomie. It's you like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie. Thank you, Mommy.
Introducing Indomie beef flavor. Buy now.
This advert is FDA approved.
Ow.
Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's why.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent?
Definitely.
Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth.
Use Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter.
Wait, your tomato mix. Wouldn't so one still loud with tomato flavor no. No color changing like traffic lights. Come on.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. The steak, a little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup.
Taste no so dear. On point. Flavor new.
And it doesn't color your meat or chicken. I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's why.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent?
Definitely. Pepsodent. 10 times stronger teeth.
Use Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter.
Every child is so unique.
You like no other.
Outstanding in every way.
It's me like no other.
So anytime you walk and play,
You like no other.
you are special like Indomie.
It's me like no other.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other?
You like no other. I can play the drums. I'm talented. It's me like no other. I can sing. I can dance. You like no other.
As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook. I can paint. You like no other. Indomie. It's you like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie. Thank you, Mommy.
Introducing Indomie beef flavor. Buy now.
This advert is FDA approved.
Tasty Tom tomato mix. Ufa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yang kwani stew dodoa ope.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. The steak, a little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup. And it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix into me handwriting and sada. Into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
In life, we're all eager to have a change when it comes to our livelihoods. But how many of us are willing to begin that change? My guest today is one of the many young men who are trying their best to make this country a better place because they believe that the government is you and I. Before we start our conversation, like I always do, it is time for us to have our goodness moment with our Malta Guinness Ginger Can. Our Malta Guinness Ginger Can is rich in vitamins B1, B2, B3, B5, and B6. And the good thing about it is the price is still the same as our Obolo can, our regular can that you are used to. It is also recyclable. Yes, this can be recycled. So it is actually helping us keep our environment safe and make Ghana clean, which is very essential to the conversation I'm about to have today. And the most exciting part, it's proudly made in Ghana, right here in Achimota, Accra. Yes. So if you think I'm lying, just go to Achimota, where you would see the offices of Guinness Ghana, and you would realize that this Ginger Can is actually produced right here in Achimota, Ghana. So please go out there and grab yourself Malta Guinness Ginger Can and have a feel of goodness. Yes, we continue to give you a world of good. So cheers as I begin my conversation with my guest. My guest today is the founder and lead of Bastard Boys, Mr. Kojo Safo. Kojo, patch of how dear. So Wedgman now you believe in recycling, right? Papa. Inti Guinness Ghana is doing well because this can be recycled. Inti ya mama Wedgman ye be Anna. Patch any way to any cheers. Yeah. So I want to know, I woke up one day on social media, like we all do, me share concern about what is going on. Then I found Bastard Boys. And I wondered, I don't know, brothers or Motiti Finza, who has actually contracted them to do this? What was the reason for starting such an initiative?
Okay, thank you and good morning or good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your beautiful followers and listeners. It started with a quote from my grandfather, that is, service to mankind is service to God. So for me, growing up, this is the statement I grew up, being familiar with. So for me, I see everything that has to do with service to God as service that we render to humanity. Because of course, if I am suffering or whatever it is I'm facing in life, if I call for help, human beings are those who appear to help. Yeah. So of course,
and God would even use human beings to answer all your prayers.
So to me, if we can do anything in service to humanity, that is service to God. So that is how it started.
So of all the things that you could be of service to the society, why did you choose to keep the society clean?
Well, if you're talking about development, if you ask me, I would say that development starts with sanitation. Because if we cry for a beautiful edifice and it finally happened and you allow it to go bad because of lack of, consistent cleaning, then there's no need crying for infrastructure in the first place. But then if you have little and you commit time into cleaning and make sure that even though it's little, it's already in a good stage and a brighter shape, it's still appealing. So for me, I see everything we talk about with regards to developed countries is the fact that they have committed a lot of time cleaning their streets and making the little that they have much more appealing and beautiful. So sanitation is the beginning, is the foundation of every developed country. And we must also begin to champion sanitation if indeed you want to change the narrative of our nation at large.
Where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up partly in Accra and then Ashama. And then in Koko, I schooled back in my elementary schools was in Koko. That is where I had my secondary education. But because my mom lives at Hama, anytime on vacation, I come to my mom's place. Yes.
When you were in high school, were you like a protocol prefect? Did you have any prefectorial role in senior high school?
Yes, I started with class prefect. I went to 4 years curriculum.
Okay.
And I started being a class prefect from SHS1 to SHS4. I became the agriculture science students president. I also became the dining hall prefect.
You don't pay Diane?
Oh, yes, I don't pay Diane per se, but then.
But baby, Diane will be out. Rough.
Brookie background now, my sustaining.
Okay.
So, from class prefect to dining hall prefect to the president of Agriculture Science Students Association. Yes.
Into Ufri in Koko, then you came straight to Accra.
Yeah, because that's
to
where my
your mom,
lives.
Ada Shaiman.
Yes.
In Koko, I know is not super urban, but it's pretty clean.
Yes.
Because everybody tries to make sure the environment is clean. It's a community of few people, and that cleanliness is next to godliness is there. So you don't really see filth like you would see in Accra, in Nkoko. So when you came to Accra and saw the level of filth, how did that make you feel?
It's not like I even came to Accra. I was here. It's the only reason I went back to Nkoko is because of secondary
school.
But between Ashama and Accra is basically where I do.
Where you grew up.
Yes.
But going to experience Nkoko and coming back to Accra and realizing the gap, how did that make you feel?
I only feel like there's a lot of irresponsible Ghanaians in Accra. Because I don't see why, with all the educations that we say we have, we can see somebody driving in V8, comfortably bring their glass
And
down
throw
and throw
something
things
out.
So it's a more or less like everybody, we are in Accra, nobody is being responsible for anything. Because everybody feels
entitled.
Yes, somebody will do the next thing, so let me continue creating the mess. I think that's the only difference. And the fact that even those who are watching can comfortably watch you do the mess and nobody will say anything. That is
And
one
sometimes when you're trying to even call people to order, it's like you're doing the most. I remember I was on my way to Kumasi, just on the Pukwasa stretch. There was this car in front of us, then the window just went down. Just a black rubber was out. And it was early in the morning, and you could see this Zoom Lion people had cleaned. It was so neat. So I told my driver, Beno. So I got there, I told the driver, park. The driver was like, oh, are they? I said, I didn't know I'm parking, I'm go far. Then he was going, so I told my driver, block him. Let him go and pick. And you know the sad part, when he rolled the back, the one at the back was an elderly man. Very elderly. So I was like, Daddy, why did you do that? Then I was like, oh, he's sorry, but the thing he was eating was spoiled. You know what I did? I got the driver to go and pick it. Because you saw the act. You could have provided a basket or something, a box in the car for him to do that. So if you didn't, you're equally culpable. So go and take it. And it was so fun. My driver was laughing. I said, "One coffee, uncle." But the driver went to pick it. So if at least every driver can have a box in their car so that people would have the sense that, okay, I can't keep it in my bag, let me keep it in the box. When you get to the station, you can always throw it away and the box will be clean again for the next passenger. So I think it's all about us and our orientation.
Yeah.
Because it's so crazy how people do that. Sometimes you can be on the ring road. That is main street Accra. From Circle to Nima police station. People do that. How are these people oriented? They just can't be bothered. So for you to say, okay, I'm taking this thing up, what was the thing that broke the camel's back for you to say, nah, I need to start this?
Okay, I think I'm somebody that loves going to, I like the water bodies like sea, you know. I like so.
That's what that place where you see things back.
So it's from before even Bastard Boys, I love going to the beach a lot. And from my experience, every time I get to the sea, I see a lot of trash bags, debris flying everywhere. And that is for me a no good. Like that was what broke the camel's back, I should say, because I feel like the sea should be some sort of recreation that can restore your nerves if you are nervous. But if this is how it is being treated, and then it's not fair. So I was looking at a way to protect that thing, or even to stop it, or to raise awareness for the collective good. And I saw that going into beach cleaning would just be like wasting time, because in the end, the only reason you see a lot of debris in the sea is when there's a heavy downpour, washes from the communities and dump in the sea. So we're looking at how we can, an activity that will raise conscious awareness and the fact that we can keep the communities clean. So that way, no matter how many hours it rains, you are rest assured that no debris will run to the sea. So that was specifically why we started targeting the communities and raising awareness to begin to call people to action that, hey, regardless of whether you pay tax or not, flood doesn't care about those. It can carry you away, it can give you malaria, all of it, everything that is associated with
typhoid,
environmental
cholera.
pollution. Yes. It careless about who is paying tax and who is not. And even with that being said, when there is any outbreak of environmentally related diseases,
we all suffer.
Yes, not those in authority you are calling or wanting them to take action. They don't suffer the consequences. And even if they do, they have what it takes to fly in and out to cure themselves, but you don't. So there's a need for you to begin to take care of your own safety, being the first person to champion your own safety. And that's exactly what we are trying to do, to raise awareness for people to begin to understand that even Ghana as a nation was built on volunteerism. So if things are going bad and you want to complain, remember you also have a responsibility aside the right of being Ghanaian. Because if even 1 million of us begin to say that I'm no longer going to throw my litter on the streets, that's almost like 1 million plastics being, taken out of the system. So for me, I see everything as the mind. When the mind is good, regardless of how you look, you still be okay. But if your mind is not good, you don't have a clean mindset, you can be the most beautiful girl and still trade yourself cheaply. So it's all about the mind.
That's very true. So deep. That is extremely deep. When you were starting, were you not scared?
No, I believe fear is another form of control. So I don't entertain fear.
Okay.
I don't believe fear because fear will tame your spirit and I don't want to be tamed. So I honestly don't fear anything.
Fearless.
Not even death, because whether you fear or not, you still die anyway.
Okay. Wow. So how did you start?
Well, I started with myself and my girlfriend, who is now my wife.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
When I died.
Oh, you shared a passion.
Yes, and she also saw the need to.
Wow.
For me, I see if before you want to go to where you are going, you have to always align with people who always see the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Because if not, in as much as you have a vision or a dream, there are people who try all their possible best to bring your spirits down. And once your spirit is down, this body is useless, because the only reason we are vibrant is because of an active spirit. So for me, I don't entertain things that will bring my spirit down. I either work away from them.
Did some people try to stop you?
Oh yeah, but definitely you hear a lot of condemning conversations or even comments that intend to bring your spirits down, like I'm saying. So for me, I have been a Ghanaian enough to know that a lot of negativity flies in my country, and I want to begin to tell people that yes. For example, I always talk about this. If there's a sex leak, all of us will channel our energy, posting and sharing. But what do we get in return? Because if you ask me, there is nothing, fancy about the kind of sex style somebody engages in. Because even animals are doing sex. Everybody is having sex. So there's no news. But that is unfortunately what is happening in our country, where you can see 1 million youths just trending somebody's sex sleep. Which doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make sense. At the end of the day, what is your gain?
Nothing. But I don't think we can use the same energy and begin to talk about the fact that all our water bodies are being, collapsed in a way, which in return comes to affect all of us. Because
most of our water bodies are looking, especially the rivers, are looking like a cup of Milo.
Just need
or
bread.
Hot chocolate. You just need bread. It used to be so clean when you drive out of Accra, every river body you saw was clean, crystal clear. But now it's not. It's like hot chocolate. And it's so sad. Just so sad. Just because some people are being irresponsible, are being selfish, and are not thinking of tomorrow and what their actions would actually bring to the community. It's just so sad.
Very sad.
Which community did you start your outreach with?
Kaswa.
Why Kaswa?
Well, Kaswa because that's where when we started, that's where most of the guys were. Okay. So in order to beat distance, because of there's nobody giving you nothing. So those of us who are at this side of it will move and join them in Kaswa, then we start. So that's where we started from.
How did you get your other volunteers?
Okay, so after the first move, when we got to Odoko, that was where one of my brothers lives around.
Okay.
So I knew that definitely this is not just a one man and one woman affair. So we need
It's a
to
movement.
Yeah, we need to bring a lot of people on board. So I followed up to his house, spoke to him about what we wanted to do, and then he also gave a positive response.
Okay.
Then the next day we involved all the other people, because before then we have been around for over 13 years. We've known each other. So these are the immediate people called. We have been before even Bastard Boys. Now we used to be a clique that we call ourselves Team Brothers.
Oh, Team
Basically,
Brothers.
doing things together and all of that. So I just explained to all of them, and those who saw the need to be part of it came around, and then we started from Kaswa 7 with 7. Yes.
So you started with 7 people.
Yes.
In Kaswa, your girlfriend inclusive, who is now your wife.
Yes.
How was it like? People would wake up one morning and suddenly there are some guys and a lady cleaning the streets when no one has contracted them to do that. How was it with the people in Kaswa?
Initially, they thought we either from the assembly or Zoom Lion people. So you'll be doing it and they tell you, then they're like all the comments you want to hear. So they thought, but then going forward, the people begin to see that no, this is not Zoom Lion, these are just volunteers who are using actions to raise awareness. So, and since then, it's been quite positive.
When you go to the communities, do you have people join you from the community out of guilt?
Yes.
Because when I would to film, that made me free. Me fear eba be clean your mind. You're not helping. When you get there, do they help?
Yes, you might not get all of them or a big number, but what we do is even sometimes when we have what we call the community engagement cleanup.
Okay.
So with those ones, before we even come, we make sure we inform the community, either house to house, and tell them that hey, we are here to help. So you guys should come around. Let's do it, because in the end, when there's a problem in this community, you are the first victim, and some of them do come around.
From Kaswa, which was your next stop?
We did about 3 bus stops in Kaswa and some communities.
Okay.
Before we came to Weja bus stop, and then from Weja we went to Shashi, and then Kwashima, and then we did a lot. Kwashima, Akramo. From Akramo went to Akramo is big actually. You see, there's the road leading to Shashi, and there's also the road leading to the main motorway.
And the motorway.
Yes, we've been there. We've been at Abelinkpe, Circle.
Tell me about your cycle experience.
Well, the circle experience was, it was, I don't know how to describe it. It was an eyesore. It was more or less like, you can't do this. But then I believe that if you take the can away, there's still, you can't do the can't from there.
Yeah.
There is still I and do.
Yeah.
So once you make any step or even any move, it's possible. And it was nice because a lot of people came around on the day. Those from around Circle, Adabraka and stuff, they all came, and it was nice doing it. Almost like a 1.5 kilometer stretch, but we could do it all.
Before you went to Cycle, definitely you'd first go to do your feasibility studies and all of that, so you know exactly what you're going to be dealing with.
Yes.
When you got there, did you try to talk to the people to join you to keep the community clean, or you just said, let's go do it? When they see us do it, they may come to join us.
We didn't actually go because of the nature of Circle. They are all shops. So if the shop owner is not there, there's nobody to talk to.
Yeah.
But because we do take videos to tell the public what we are going to do, and then we post, those who came around are those who saw the next location on our social media platforms, and
just decided to join.
But with the shops around, whilst doing it, we do engage them to begin to tell them that when this place gets flooded, this is your shop, you are going to lose everything. So as much as we are here volunteering, we leave it in your care after to also be sure that even if you have to use your camera to capture people who are dropping litter, it's another part of the solution.
When you're done cleaning, how do you sustain the cleanup? Because you can clean. Now, Wedgman cost 90. How are you able to sustain it that it remains the way you left it?
we're talking about cost 90. No matter how, for me, I see cleaning as a continuous process. As a matter of fact, we have all been brushing since we were born, and we still do every morning. So cleaning is not like the fact that you clean once, you still get that
every evening.
And then if I clean and somebody come and put extra, it doesn't mean it's cost 90, because suppose what I clean was there, maybe the height will be like this.
Yes.
But then because of what I did before, it goes down to this level. So like I'm saying, sustainability is education. The same education that is given us politicians, doctors, and teachers. If as a nation we want to indeed change the narrative, because the saddest part of the whole show is the fact that you go on internet, suppose the world, the media for the whole, if you want to see how a country is doing, you just go on the internet and check, and then you check Ghana, and we have been listed among some sort of dirtiest country. For me, I see every
What's our current rank?
I'm not too sure where exactly we are, because it's been a while since I checked. But
the last time you checked, what was the rank?
Oh, I think we were on either the 13th or the 14th.
Hey.
Dirtiest country. And for me, that's an insult, because they didn't exempt anybody to say that, oh, because you are rich, you are not part of it or so. But then all of us inclusive, the world calendar or the world map is depicting us as the dirty people. And I feel that should hurt anybody who believes we are Ghanaians and we are Africans that also needs to be respected. If that should hurt you, then indeed you begin to look at a way of changing that narrative. So where I'm looking at a day again, I go back to the same internet, and then Ghana is listed among one of the cleanest cities. Then at least we are giving respect back to our land. If you go into the Bible, all the biblical promises that God gave to the people of Israel was about the fact that you move them from where they are to one land that is sweet, has all the, everything to make life easy. So for me, I see the land as everything. It is all that there is. Without the land, all the activities we engage in on daily basis is not possible, because we don't have what it takes to be in the air. So the land or the earth or the environment is our home, is the source of humanity. Everything that we are also looking for in this life came around because of picking raw materials from the environment to manufacture those things. The cars, the nice buildings, everything. So if there's anything as humans we need to protect and give all our respect, it has to be the environment. Because without it, there is no us.
That is so deep, like getting some very deep knowledge from this young man. We'll be right back after this break.
Tasty Tom tomato mix. Ufa kakra. Na ye bebre. Fa kakra yang kwine stew dodoa ope.
Tasty Tom dear, it will surely give you value for money. Steak and little is enough to get our desired quantity of stew and soup, and it doesn't color your meat or chicken.
Tasty Tom tomato mix into me handwriting and sada. Into customers bar never.
I don't compromise on the quality of my food. Use Tasty Tom enriched tomato mix. This advert is FDA approved.
Ow. Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's why.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent?
Definitely. Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth.
Use Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter.
Remember the days I just couldn't go to the gym because it was that time of the month. Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad took the worry away. Easy.
Yes, comfort, I got. Yes, confidence, I got. Yes.
The new Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad is the joy of every woman. It is extra absorbent and fits perfect. Don't allow anything to hold you back when it's that time.
Wow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Feel confident, stay fresh.
Hi. Is it supposed to be that time of the month?
Yes. I got. Yes, confidence, I got.
Yes.
We got yes protection. I got.
Yas Extra Long Sanitary Pad for extra comfort.
We got yes protection.
Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's why.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent?
Definitely. Pepsodent. 10 times stronger teeth.
Use Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter.
Every child is so unique.
You like no other.
Outstanding in every way.
It's me like no other.
So anytime you walk and play,
You like no other.
you are special like Indomie.
It's me like no other.
Did you know that every child on the planet has their own unique fingerprint like no other?
You like no other. I can play the drums. I'm talented. It's me like no other. I can sing. I can dance. You like no other.
As well as their own unique talents and abilities.
I can cook. I can paint. You like no other. Indomie. It's you like no other.
So every day, in whatever you do, remember you are special in your own way, like no other.
Thank you, Mom, for letting me know I'm special and for making me my special Indomie. Thank you, Mommy.
Introducing Indomie Beef Flavor. Buy now.
This effort is FDA approved.
This is a Hisense Super Crazy Giveaway moment. Last week, you saw the CEO herself from Mimi's Best Hair take her turn. And this lady here, Salah, my troublesome Salah. When Salah is fasting, she's not friendly. Salah is always making sure my hair is well straightened. My background about Kwacha, Auntie Stacy, like oh Salah, Auntie Stacy, and should make sure your hair is always straightened. And I'm just here to appreciate you, my love.
Thank you.
But when you are fasting, be nice.
I'll try.
Yeah, you're fast on your nice. Oh, you're fast on your nice. Back to say, but God bless you. Keep being amazing, and I love you. Okay, so I came to say thank you and give you something special from Hisense. This is to you, wishing you the best, and I hope during the next fast you're going to be smiling a lot.
Thank you, Hisense, for this special gift. I really appreciate it.
All right. And you'll be smiling during the next fast.
Yes, of course. You see, I'm smiling.
Yes, you have to smile. Well, it has been lovely, and I'm bringing you lots of love from Mimi's Best Hair. See you next week.
Restoration.
Welcome back, and that is our winner for this week's High Sense Super Crazy Giveaway moment. Very soon, our guest will also get to pick a card, and we'll find out what he will be taking home with him today. A very big thank you to our sponsors, Malta Guinness, High Sense, Everyday Prizes for Everyday People, Yas Washing Powder and Yas Sanitary Pad, Hoochcon and Choco Flakes, La Palm Royal, Beach Hotel, the Sousa Catering Services. A big thank you to Tuwazi Apartments, Teflon Suites, located at Ahojo in Kumasi. Very big thank you to my glam team, ABS Lux Line, GH Beauty Artistry, and Hair Duties. So we've been talking about bus stop boys, and I'm sure for those of you who do not love social media, you're pretty lost. So I'm going to link to a video so we see the work that they have been putting in. We'll be right back.
Just for you, there is hope for the tired and weary. Open your eyes and you will see the perfect friend in me. Restoration, restoration, restoration. This is where to share it all, a common place for one and all. Let's hold each other's hands and stand tall. Set yourself free and tell it all. Restoration, 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 restoration. It's restoration. Welcome to the end of the tunnel. I see a bright light shining through, and it's just for you. There is hope for the tired and weary. Open your eyes and you will see the perfect friend in me. Restoration, restoration, restoration. It's restoration, restoration, restoration. It's This is where to share it all, a common place for one and all. Let's hold each other's hands and stand tall. Set yourself free and tell it all. Restoration, 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 restoration. It's restoration. shining through, and it's just for you. There is hope for the tired and weary. Open your eyes and you will see the perfect friend in me. Restoration, restoration, restoration. It's easy. Restoration, restoration, restoration. It's easy. This is where to share it all. A common place for one and all. Let's hold each other's hands and stand tall. Set yourself free and tell it all. Restoration. 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 It's easy. Restoration. Welcome to the end of the tunnel. I see a bright light shining through, and it's just for you. There is hope for the tired and weary. Open your eyes and you will see the perfect friend in me. Restoration, restoration, restoration. It's easy. Restoration, restoration, restoration. It's easy. This is where to share it all.
Looking at the work you put in, you realize you're not really equipped to do what you'd have loved to do, but you're making do with the little that you can get. Does it become frustrating sometimes? You get to a community and you really want to work, but the day is not there. When it happens, how do you handle it? Do you leave it or you improvise to make sure that the job is done?
We improvise because personally for me, I don't really like the idea where people are putting trash on pavement and saying that the waste management will come and take it later, so they are comfortably put it
go back in.
I don't believe in that idea, and because we're also trying to send a message and raise awareness, you always have to improvise to make sure that we don't follow the same lane as we have been doing for so long a time. So we don't have logistics, yes, but then we always improvise and make sure we do the very best.
One of your videos where you had the guy go through the gutter tunnel, were you not afraid? Were you not scared that because it's a gutter, it's a tunnel, you don't know what is there, but you realize the place is blocked and you'd have to push whatever is there to come out? Were you guys not scared that it could be anything?
Well, like I said, I don't entertain fear. So I was the first person to enter before anybody else.
So you entered
So I was
first.
the one with the trash bag covering my whole body to go and check what it is. So when I went inside there, I saw there was a tie. And then we can bring it out. It's possible. The only reason the water is not flowing is because the tie is choking enough to allow others to flow. So while I came back, that was more or less like assessing what exactly is there. Then there was this guy who said, "Oh, he can go inside and pull everything out with that." Because I was looking for a rope to tie and pull it out. But
And
when he
because
said,
looking at your weight and everything.
yeah, he said he can do
We hear
it.
macho kakra.
Of course. And then he did the magic. So yes, I was in there first before the guy came and do the magic. Yeah.
When you, like before you were entering, I know you're not afraid, but Nipepia, you get to a point where it's like, what if? What if? You never had that trigger of what if?
No, but like I'm saying, for me, I will like this. It is possible. When I believe everything is possible. So the what if bit, I just told them that when people were saying, how do we solve it? How do we solve it? So I came around and said, give me the trash bag. Let me first go and check, because I don't want people to say that people are here and you are somewhere comfortably and you are pushing people in through gutters. So I first have to take the first bite to know what exactly it is. That's how I entered, and there was nothing like what if. The only what if I was thinking is, what if we are unable to prove to the people that it's possible? Because those who were around were telling us that drain has been it has been overflowing for over 10 years, so we should forget about it. So I told them that
10 years.
No, but then, I've been in Accra all my life, but then growing up in Ashama, and my family also live at Shantain.
Oh, okay.
So I've been here all my life, but just that actively because of school, I've been in
I say to school no buy no. Just a person much say a ancient problem.
So we don't forget it, and then we also want to tell them that it's possible. We should begin to think that everything is possible. The moment you have that mindset of everything being possible, nothing scares you no more. Because, like I said, whether you are scared or not, you still die anyway. So sometimes
when you're able to pull it, what did the people say? Those who said it was an ancient problem, when you're able to bring the tie out.
Fortunately, before we bring it out, they had left.
Oh.
Because we started at 7 a.m. and before we brought the tie out was just around 12:30 to 1. So they can't wait that much. They've left.
It took that long?
Yeah, sometimes we spend over 8 hours. Because one thing about us is the fact that when we get to the spot and there's a problem, we always want to try to solve the problem to solve it entirely before we leave there. So if you have to spend almost the whole day, we do. I remember we work at Shiashi. There's a bus stop behind, there's a gutter behind the bus stop heading to Medina. And they're working on that stretch. We realize that the water is not moving. From what we assess, you realize that the drain is supposed to flow towards the left, but because of bad engineering practices, it's rather flowing to the left. And to the left where it's supposed to flow, also there's some sort of blockage. They mounted something like, I think one of the pillars for the flyover, the footbridge, is actually mounted, has its basement in the gutter. So there's no way the water that is supposed to flow back left will flow. And then we needed to ascertain and make sure that, is it that there's a blocked hole or it's entirely blocked from what we are seeing from the top. We went to the extent of renting, water pump to pump all the gutter, everything out to make sure that there is no hole or there's a hole that is choked. So that's the extent we go until we are able to.
And when you rented the water pump, what was the problem?
After draining every water out, we saw that has been the pillar that is supporting the footbridge. One has its feet in there. So unless we break that concrete there and allow access, it will still be that. And then we use the opportunity to also raise awareness, calling on those who have what it takes to do that. But then up to now, it's still there.
It's still there. It is still a block now. Issue. That famous donation from Shatawale. When you got the call, did you feel a sense of relief that at least people were recognizing your work and were supporting your vision?
Well, talking about Shatawale, everybody knows that yes, Shatta, talking about the streets, is the street god. So it was the fact that it was just an excitement with regards to the fact that people are watching. And it means that the message of collective responsibility is cutting across. And if Shatta is supporting, then that should tell you the number of people who are watching. So we're excited to the fact that, yes, we'll get to a point where everybody will begin to understand that apart from our rights to live as a people, you also have the responsibility to also protect or contribute to development. Because if you don't, and you sit back and complain, remember, if you collapse, when it collapses, all of us are gone.
Yeah.
So yes, that is what we are trying to achieve by calling everybody to be responsible in everybody's corner, and also to be patriotic, because being patriotic means that you don't sign a contract that will bring dent on the image of Ghana. So as a patriotic people, or wherever you find yourself, you also don't sit in the hospital and begin to administer wrong medication to people. You are not being patriotic, because the people, without the people, there is no land, and without the land, there is no people. So we must work hand in hand, prioritize the safety of everybody, and that is the best way for us to be at peace. For even now, if you go to places like maybe America, there are some Americans who are very poor, but because the general look of America is perceived to be somebody or something that is clean and neat, the poor guy in America comes to Ghana and we give him more hair, all the respect, because it is assumed that America is a rich nation. So if we are able to get to the point where Ghana is now seen as a clean and a wealthy country, it means that citizens will go around their lives anywhere around the world, and people will respect them just because they are coming from Ghana, and Ghana has a very big respect.
If anybody out there wants to support Basta Boys, how can they support you? Bank account details, mobile money number, how can people support you?
Well, we have a bank account, Access Bank account. The numbers are bulky, so unless I watch my phone and mention them.
Please, that is very important. And
Okay.
Usika could do your account.
So with Access Bank, the account number is 1020000007844. Access Bank. And the name is Basta Boys. BUZSTOPBOYS.
Thank you so much. Then mobile money?
0546442747. 0546442747.
So wherever you are in the world, it doesn't matter whether you live in Accra, in America, in Lagos, in Kenya, anything that affects a society can affect the whole world. When COVID came, it looked like it was nobody's business. Eventually, it became a global pandemic. So please, let us support the Basta Boys so they can help make our community a better place. If you're doing this, you're not doing this for me. You're not doing this for just you or yourself. You're doing it to help Ghana become a better place. So please, like you do for all the people who come here that I ask you to support, I want you to support the Basta Boys, because the next time they come to any community, I want them to be very well equipped so they can help make the communities a better place and make it shine, so that next time when you go on Google and you want to search the cleanest cities in the world, you would find Ghana's name on that list. So before I let go, Kojo, it's our time to be generous. So you get to pick a card, and High Sense will have something for you to take home. So kindly pick your card and hand it over to me.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for coming. You take home a High Sense rice cooker. So you're going home with a rice cooker. And I'm sure when you're going out to work, yes, so Amcon is also one of the products from High Sense. So
Thank
this is
you.
from High Sense to you.
Thank you.
And
Thank
thank
to
you
Hisense.
very much, and keep being amazing.
Thank you.
I'd like to say a very big thank you to our sponsors, Malta Guinness, High Sense, Yas Washing Powder, and Yas Sanitary Pad, Hooch Corn and Choco Flakes, La Palm Royal Beach Hotel, Tuwazi Apartment, Teflon Suites located in Kumasi, the Souza Catering Services, and of course to my glam team, ABS Lux Line, Hair Duties, and GH Beauty Artistry. It has been very insightful. And now we should remember charity begins at home. And if you are clean, you're doing yourself a favor. If your community is clean, you're doing the entire community a favor, because cleanliness is next to godliness. And I want you to remember, you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. We'll see you next week.